It's SpeedBump. We got a new speed game. It's called Kandria. It is Celeste is movement controls combined with some beat 'em up controls. It is just one of those games that merges a couple of mechanics. It's got a lot of speedrunning features. I had talked to the dev about a month ago about this one, and we went over what we were looking at, and it's got some competition already, with Dude having the record at the moment. But it is competitive for any percent. For 4 minutes 21, but it actually changed recently and then came back to Dude, I think. So there's an active community for that. We're going to be watching that and the world record for True Ending, which is also by Dude.
Yeah.
That's good work. Let's really be having
already
a good time.
busy.
Yep. So this is the world record True Ending, which requires a lot more work as far as I understand. I don't know exactly what that entails. It's not 100%. I was saying 100%, but I don't think that's what it is. There's a lot of like, I don't know what 100% would even mean in a game like this. There's a lot of stuff lying around that you can pick up that just gives you like, you have levels that give you probably more damage and stuff like that, just stat boost, not anything like essential, I don't think. So even if it were called 100%, it would probably ignore that. But I think there are quests and stuff, and you maybe don't have to do all those. There was a true ending to get, though, and that's what we're after in 22 minutes. Let's hit it. Okay, so we have a lot of speedrunning features for this that I can talk about while we go. One of them is that text scrolling speed, where you can just teleport through. Okay, well, I didn't find this in my play yet, so we're off to that. But you just skip the whole intro by doing that, it looks like. So that's nice.
Does seem like it, yeah.
That's the kind of feature we're looking at for this dev is actively looking to make speedrunning feel good. So there's a lot of stuff like that. You can set the text speed to be a frame. Like, it just scrolls through instantly if you want. There's also...
It's pretty fast.
If I recall, there's options for a lot of different things. Aside from text speed, there's options for maybe damage and stuff, I'm pretty sure. Like, the whole dev menu, I think, is just in there in case you wanted to use it.
Yeah, it's got a lot of assist mode features, to my knowledge.
Yeah, so you have I think it's called wave dashing in Celeste. I think that's a thing that you maybe have where you dash towards the ground and you bounce off of it. You get your dash back and you go really fast. I think it has that. But you also have this right here, which was really exciting to me when I was playing it. When you run in the straight direction for a couple of seconds, you really take off. There it goes. You're going to want to take advantage of that. And the nice thing about that is I compare to Symphony of the Night as a game that has really obnoxious inputs that put me off of speedrunning it. You have to shield spam in Symphony of the Night. Just mash the heck out of the shield and backdash to get super speed. It's so... It hurts my hands. I hate it.
Yeah, it's extremely cool when games have like some features that allow you to go faster than the dev intended. Like, that can be exciting, but certainly for a game like Celeste, in which like your running speed will never be just like wave dashing everywhere, or Symphony of the Night where you've got to, backdash in almost every situation. Like, the fact that this has like a Mario P speed where you do have a top speed that's higher than any other feature means you really save yourself a lot of hand fatigue.
Everything that was just done here took me about 30 minutes. I was taking my time, but even so, there's a really nice map. It is a sort of a Metroidvania, but I don't know, because I haven't beaten it yet, what kind of stuff you find that might be actually important. I know that you find items lying around that's like, you'll find a broken like lid, and you'll pick it up and you'll be like, and you'll get some XP, which gives you damage, I think. Nice, the sitting percent there. You can't... Yeah, I think we were talking about, because we weren't actually sure at the time last month, if it's faster to do the wave dashing tech, like as fast as you can possibly dash, or if it's faster to just do this acceleration, which is obviously easier. This just kicks in on its own. You don't like hold run or anything. There's no run button. You just kind of take off because you are holding direction. The dev said something along the lines of they hated traveling across big empty things, so they wanted to minimize that. It's a very pretty game, and the combat is what you see, and I think that the players being really good at the combat is going to be helpful for speedrunning, because then they don't have to use up the level up mechanics at all. And it's not like you pick stats or anything. I think you just get more damage, more health, you know, just make combat easier. So if you were having trouble with the game, you could do that.
So basically, you would never want to go out of your way for that extra experience. You would just get whatever's on the way.
Probably not, yeah. There was a piece of tech that we had talked about that maybe, I don't know if it's part of the run. I haven't actually watched this yet. So you can see death is not really a big deal. It's got some super fast respawn, but the mechanic I'm talking about is on the very pixel that you jump on a spike, you can jump off of it again.
It's pretty nice.
It's pretty risky.
Sure.
But yeah, that is a thing that was intentionally left in, and it could be big. I don't know if that's the thing that, you know, there might be a jump where you want that. But we already had one death, so, you know, as YouTube comments love to tell you, this run can be improved on. You just, oh, I can't believe whole second can be saved already. No, this is going really fast already. It's about as far as I made it in an hour now. Because I was reading the text and stuff. I was figuring out where to go. There's a nice bunch of features that tell you what you should be doing and where, in terms of like direction, for just like if you're just playing this casually. It is on Steam. I forget what it costs, but if you're interested in running it, we are interested in helping you do that. We can probably get you a key or something like that if you would like to join us as we attack the world records here. There is a community for it already. The person who was competing with Dude for the Record, I don't think is part of our community yet.
Yet.
Yeah.
Yeah, come by our Discord, you know, come by the Smites Discord and head into the SpeedBump channel, and the devs in there kind of actively taking part in seeing what's going on with the game. So can't guarantee how many keys we can get, but if you're actively interested in speedrunning this game and pushing it further, you can probably make that work.
Using the sword to get a little distance. We also have this feature from Celeste where you grab a diamond and get your jump back. Yeah. I had asked the dev actually to do a run, because one didn't exist at the time of release, and they did that for us. It's one of the first things they did. And yet they're very easy to reach. It's a very cool game.
This is an extremely cool game.
It came out, let's see here, January 11th. Yeah, it's fairly new. Fresh release here. I haven't streamed it. I was playing it to see if I thought it would be a good speed bump game. Which I do.
Yeah, I haven't played it yet, but aside from this, I watched Wobbly Python play quite a bit of it. And Wobbly specifically, they were trying to find ways to sequence break things, and I kind of already had a good hunch this was going to be an interesting speed game. So when you brought it up, I was like, yeah, I'm familiar with that.
Yeah, I'm probably going to run through it. I love indie platformer games. You ever play Iconoclast? That's an interesting one.
I'm aware of it. I haven't played it myself. So those doors are such an interesting mechanic. You could climb up the platforms, but why not just hit all the doors?
I want to teleport doors. As far as I know in the plot, I don't want to spoil too much of it, but you are a cyborg or something, like Mega Man Zero style. They found you and they reactivated you, and they aren't sure that they should be trusting you, and you have a lot of options to encourage their distrust. You have a lot of options like threatening them a little bit because they don't trust you, and you're like, well, we'll see how that goes for you. But you are in the end helping them with a pretty tough community they're trying to live in out here in the desert, as far as I saw. I'm not sure what the plot turns into after that. I need to go through it myself. But we're really zooming here. This is a cruising percent. I'm not sure which world record will be easier to attack. You know, if you have a preference for either one, that's up to you. But yeah, we are looking for speedrunners for this game, so if you're interested in that, send me a message. I'm not sure what the best weapons are either. There's a ton of moves. There's probably like 10 combat moves you could do, depending on how much you charge the swing and what direction you're jumping in from, or if you're on the ground.
Yeah, this is one of those games that you're spoiled for choice, both in movement tech and in combat tech, so...
Looks like you have a knockdown attack. Iconoclast is definitely a weird one. Like, indie game platformers with big plot, I never know what's gonna happen. They can do anything, and they that one's definitely one of the ones that will introduce you to the idea of if they want to, they could kill somebody who seems super important to the plot. They could just die off screen. They could die in a violent way. Like, you know, those aren't video game things usually, especially for that genre. So you're into whatever the indie game creator wants to write, and that's pretty wild sometimes. So I have no idea what the plot is or where it could go in terms of the end game here. I need to play that game again, though. I would recommend it. It's definitely up there on the cool games list, especially for somebody who enjoys a game like Hollow Knight, or just the Metroidvanias in general.
Yeah, but this is a Celestroidvania.
Yeah.
I think we're seeing the coining of a new genre here.
The movement tech, right out the gate. Celeste, chapter by chapter, it changes the gameplay completely and doesn't look back. Like, it doesn't really reuse much. This one is using the double jump mechanic to get around spikes as a main mechanic.
Yeah, you can't put any more games on my backlog. You're responsible for about half of my backlog at this point.
What's on your backlog next?
Well, I don't know about next. I'm just saying I've got a lot of games from you specifically. Hey, tell me when you're going to play this, when you're going to play this.
How do you decide what to play next?
Lately, whatever either I'm most excited about or I've been letting Patreon choose for me.
I let Patreon choose from a big wheel. I put everything on a vote, and then I set the tile size to the number of votes I got.
Yeah, I couldn't do it the way you do it. I saw your model and I could not do it. So instead I pick like, well, no, it's just like I feel like I'd end up playing a lot of games I'm not too excited about. So instead I pick like 5 or 6 games off of my backlog every month and let everyone vote on which one they want to see.
Well, that's the trick. You only put things you're excited about on the wheel.
Yeah, but you don't. You let them name what they want.
Well, I'm dumb.
Yes, that's what I'm saying. That's the whole point.
Okay, so those items right there, there's like 20 of them on the screen. Those are what I'm talking about. Those are the loot, just miscellaneous loot, as far as I know. And it wasn't even worth picking up. It's like that unfortunately true fact where it's like Bill Gates wouldn't gain anything by bending over and picking up $1. Because it takes more time to pick it up than it's worth.
Sure.
That's what we got here.
Yeah, it seems like there's a lot of it strewn about. If you're playing casually, you definitely want it so that you could raid the shops. But if you know what you want to buy and how you're going to get the money for it, you certainly wouldn't stop for every little bit of it.
Yeah, it's not even money in this game. I don't know if there is money. It's just XP.
Is that Baba?
Maybe.
I just saw Baba.
It could be, like, actually. Yeah, I've got to play Alias after I finish Final Fantasy VIII, which is some game. It's just... I'm not talking about Alias, I'm talking about Final Fantasy VIII. That is some game, and it's got some kind of fan, too, I tell you what.
You've been dealing with the Final Fantasy VIII likers?
There was a big plot twist that was like not interesting at all, and I was just like making fun of it, and somebody was getting mad, and he was drunk, and he's like, "This is the most ungenuine reaction. I'm out of here." Now I've immortalized. Whenever someone says something like that to me, I make their quote an emote or something. Put them on my quote block forever. Welcome to my life's history now. I'm never gonna let you go. You're here. Next to the guy who said I fucked diamonds in Fable 1. Sloth boy. This is a nice looking area.
I love how fast the falling is in this game. Like, once you've committed to where you're gonna drop, you just hit the ground instantly.
Yeah. The movement tech is like, I saw this game's trailer and I'm like, SpeedBump? Like, I'm just like, we get a lot of platformers, but I feel like this is a unique kind where we have some serious movement tech and opportunity to really crush.
I will say it's often a big red flag for me when an indie dev like tries to make a game good for speedrunning. That usually ends up producing a worser game overall, but this is one that seems like it was done in a thoughtful way to make the game better for speedrunning.
I wish that you could go fishing in the speedrun, but like that's just not gonna happen. I don't think we're gonna see fishing. You can hold down to fall faster. Nice.
There's so many examples of indie devs who have tried to like create a niche following for their game through speedrunning by like adding in like specific shortcuts, and they're like, I added shortcuts, that's perfect for speedrunning, right? And it's like, well, not if you add it, it's not a shortcut. It's just the normal way.
I really like the speedrunning clock in here. It's very sophisticated. It tells you a bunch of objectives that direct you towards what you should be doing next. Like,
oh, is that timer up in the corner not
that's in
live
game?
split?
Yeah,
that's in game.
Yeah, this is the kind of feature.
Oh, that's remarkable. That's really great.
They really have a head on their shoulders for the speedrun tech we're actually looking for. No W split needed here. It's just measuring time to your next goal, and it's super handy. Like, you're never gonna get confused about what's next. Made your own splits for you.
That's actually quite nice. I mean, that's something that's, I'm not gonna say easy for a dev to add, but easier for a dev to add than for like streamers to write custom auto splitters for the game. And so it's nice that the dev took the time to like try to again make things just more accessible for speedrunners.
I'm definitely aware of Pizza Tower, and I wouldn't mind hosting a race or two of it, but for SpeedBump, it's probably bigger than we're ambitiously looking for.
Yeah, we're usually trying to shine a light on games that aren't getting a lot of speedrunning attention, and Pizza Tower is currently captivating the speedrunning community. So
yeah, that's like your top dogs, top 10 speedrun, probably next day to Mario World and stuff right now.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's already been submitted half a dozen times to SGDQ. I'm pretty sure their submissions are open right now, and roughly 30 to 40% of it is just Pizza Tower submissions.
Pizza Tower done quick. It's
just accept everyone's submissions and play Pizza Tower over and over.
I wonder what kind of detriment that would have. Be the first
Pizza
time
Tower
in years.
again, but we just had Pizza Tower.
Yeah, I mean, no offense to Pizza Tower, but I think that would be the first time AGDQ hasn't rose $1 million in like 10 years. Gotta have
I really
variety.
do quite like the movement in this.
Looks like you have to pick up stuff this time.
Yeah. Looks like it's specific items that need to be collected in order to finish.
Wow. That hammer attack seems to be the favorite.
Yeah, it seems like it seems like it deals a lot of damage. I'm wondering whether or not, you know, as this game gets developed a little more, if that's going to continue to be the best option, because it seems like also the knockback might be a little bit detrimental. Like, you can't just finish off an enemy quickly, you got to chase after him.
I know you get combo attacks and stuff, and various other. I was trying a lot of different moves. It's hard to tell when I was playing what would be the best, so I was curious what it would end up being. You never know. It's so hard to say without actually measuring things.
I mean, being able to two-shot every enemy seems pretty powerful, though, so it's probably worth having to reposition yourself over and over just because you've knocked an enemy over.
Cool moves.
That was a cool little, like, hammer directly into sword. Seems like that worked pretty well.
Yeah, got like an interrupt on your rapier there. Wonder why those guys had to be fought. I think they ambushed. We are only a couple minutes away from the end game here. So we're doing a lot of quests that we're just not going to see on the 80%. I wonder how it is that we're going to knock 18 minutes off of this run.
If I remember correctly, so again, I haven't played this, so I'm trying to recall from memory, but I'm pretty sure when I was watching Wobbly play this, they mentioned something about like you start with the majority of your abilities from the beginning, and I wonder if it's one of those issues of like you were always able to just go directly to the final boss. There was no reason not to.
See that drop speed?
Yeah, I mean that's like such a small feature for the average player, but that's so big for speedrunning, just being able to move vertically much more fluidly.
Yeah, that's what I thought. If the enemies are being fought, it's because they're locking you in and they're attacking you, Zelda style. I wasn't sure if the mix of combat would work with Celeste or not, but this works pretty well. It's pretty well done. The combat is, it reminds me of other indie beat 'em up kind of things I've seen, where you can juggle enemies if you do it well. And they're not super tanky or anything, like, and you don't really get a whole lot of new moves, it looks like. Or at least not in this run, but I don't think you do anyway. I think you just have a really good set of weapons out the gate, you use them, and that's it. Bomb placed.
Looks like there's an interesting little mechanic there that when dude activated that panel, he was able to like slide away from the wall in the little cutscene.
Tiny little hops over the enemies preserves the P speed. The first game I can think of with this kind of combat is They Bleed Pixels. I believe the dev is in Europe, so it's going to be hard to get that commentary in, but they wanted to join us. Unfortunately, we run pretty late.
Yeah, we're not very Euro friendly on our time.
But that's okay. If you're interested in this game, if you like what you're seeing, and you want to speedrun it, that's like my only condition. If you think you would like to speedrun it, let me know. that's We would love to do a race probably at some point of the any percent, I bet. I don't know, that would be super fast. If we have enough players that are this competitive with the true ending, then maybe a race of that would be more prudent.
Yeah.
Like if we can give them 30 minutes and they're all gonna finish, that's great. That's super nice. Boss absolutely smashed.
Yeah, we'll do a race of whatever is gonna feature the most players, but we'd love to be able to do a race of a category like this at the end. I think that might be better than doing another world record comp, especially for short games. It's world record comps get a little bit cutthroat. So if we can get everyone to kind of learn the game up a little bit and do a race of it, that might be nice.
I like the friendly race, and I like the encouraged community exploration of the secrets of the tech. Trending? Looks like we have 30 seconds of work to do. Gotta rewire the bomb.
New quest, go home.
You got it. The upward stab for jumping. Upward stab and dash forward. Fastest tech.
It's good tech.
That's Kandria's true ending percent. 2158. Looks like they're gonna call it at the fade. .9% completion. I wonder. So that's not all the tech in the game. Like that's not every quest. It's not 100%. 100% is probably hours, based on that. That's only 29% of it. But the true ending is done by doing some specific set of things. So we have no idea what the actual 100% looks like. I don't think that. Let me check if there's a record for that real quick. I got a couple runners for the 80%. True ending, 100% is empty, but the category's up there. There's a quest. All quests and 100% are both up there. I don't know what the difference is for those. But, yeah.
Yeah, I imagined it's a lot. I imagine the 100% is like, in addition to all the quests, like picking up all key items or anything like that.
Let's check out the any percent, which is so fast. 4 minutes, 21 seconds. You just got to knock one more second off of that, and you'll be in business. It says there's an embarrassing death in a single room, otherwise quite a good run. Quite a good run is a fine way to describe the world record. I love it when that's written on the world record every time. It's just like,
I mean, the escape that we just watched was like almost 3 minutes, so I can't wait to see how this game is 4.5 minutes long.
Yeah, I bet that true ending does not have that escape. Or this one won't have that.
Right.
I imagine that the true ending is like the humans don't get murdered or something. They like the society is saved. It seemed like you were doing a lot of work for them. Yeah, there is a map, so maybe filling out the map all the way is part of 100%.
Oh. Reminds me of Super Metroid 100% map completion category. That seems like such a slog sometimes.
Love the animations in this when you roll off the ground. Yeah, 100% can be pretty tedious depending on the game. Rogue Legacy is an example I can think of where it's leveling up to level 527 or something like that when you only need to be level like 18 to win fast. Like, so you do New Game Plus over and over again, and you grind a truckload of money, like millions of dollars, and you just keep beating the game over and over again and trying to get more and more money to add up. Because New Game Plus keeps stacking the cash. And then you can get the cash you need to do nothing but buy upgrades you don't need. And you just keep doing that, and that's what 100% is for Rogue Legacy. Which is probably the most boring it can be. It's just absolutely getting money, grinding, collecting, buying.
Well, this is definitely all stuff we saw last run, so there's obviously considerable overlap.
Yeah.
I'm wondering at what point it deviates and we just hit an ending. I'm kind of I'm trying to figure out where it actually separates.
I want to go back a room here. Let me rewind some. Just want to look at that again. Celeste has a lot of stuff like this right here, where you can take some risky boy play, save a ton of time, but it's pretty tight. I definitely recognize that. That's one of the reasons I really liked Celeste. It had a lot of like, are you an expert? Try this. And it's ridiculous, and it only saves you like 5 seconds. The option's there, though. Looks like you're gaining levels for exploring, as well as for picking up stuff.
Right. Oh, I love that this category sees Baba as well.
This is mandatory environment, then. This is the most intense part of the platforming that I saw. Dog. The category of find Jack up there is just like, where are you going? Wow.
Well, Jack's not going to find himself.
He went to lunch.
I mean, if that was the one death that dude was talking about, that is a pretty good death.
It had to be. There's no time left. Somehow we're going to translate this to the end of the game. Skipping right through. Wow. Secret wall.
I imagine... Oh.
Nice.
Wow.
The crushing defeat of the Raw. Super.
Okay. Well, I was like, how is this fight going to end in less than 10 seconds?
Snake. Secrets is probably a big part of the 100%. Or, yeah. But if map completion is part of it, that's going to be a tough one. But you know, that category is open if you want to do that one instead. That's up to you.
Unbelievable.
That's Kandria.
Cool game.
Yeah, I am interested in seeing where we go with that one.
Yeah, I think we'll probably lean toward a race for this one. So if you're interested in learning this game and brushing up on it for a potential race down the road, come by the Discord channel and let us know. We'll figure out what we can do for you. In the meantime, anyone who does take a look at this game will establish sort of what categories we're interested in and maybe like figure out what the race is going to be ahead of time so that you can have time to prepare.
Yeah. There's already been a little bit of a discussion with the dev in there, probably about a month's worth at this point. And Dude's in there, and probably would be happy to chat about that. I like our community and the teamwork we do on attacking these records, and we will, if there's interest, if we can get at least 2 people, but you know, we would like to see 4 or 6 for a race. That's ideal. If you're interested in playing, that's our game. Yeah, thanks for joining me out the Blues.
Absolutely, take it easy.
We're probably going to do a mystery race next week of just some game, if y'all are interested in that. In fact, I'll go ahead and make that event. See you later, out the Blues. If you're interested in the mystery race of some, it's probably going to be a retro game like Game Boy Advance, SNES, NES, or Genesis, one of those 4. That event will be on the Discord. Let's find somebody to host. And I did fix Final Fantasy VIII, so tomorrow probably we'll be jumping back in on that.